Hello and welcome. It's UFC 279 Chimaev versus Diaz. This is our prediction videos. Let's start off with the main event right away. Khamzat Chimaev versus Nate Diaz. What do you guys think?
All right, I'm gonna start off with a hot take here. I don't think Chimaev will be able to finish Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz is tough as they come, and also in his last fight, Chimaev was not able to knock out Glass Chin Gilbert Burns, and if he cannot finish Glass Chin Gilbert Burns, he will sure as hell not be able to finish Nate Diaz. So yeah, this fight's going to decision, guys. Lock it down. That being said, I think Chimaev beats the crap out of him.
Well, I think plus 500 if you are crazy enough to bet via decision. I think we all agree that Chimaev is going to dominate this fight. I actually think he's going to tap Nate Diaz out. The first person over a decade to do so. I see it's going similar to the Lee fight. He grabs him, takes him down, takes his back, and then eventually wears him out and submits him. I remember Nate Diaz versus Roy McDonald, where Nate Diaz got suplexed, and Chimaev is much bigger than Rory McDonald is. So I could also see a possibility where Chimaev mounts him and then just kind of does ground and pound, but I don't think Nate Diaz's jiu-jitsu is good enough to stop Chimaev. So Chimaev rounds 1, 2, or 3 via submission.
Yeah, I just feel like Nate Diaz. I just don't see Nate Diaz getting subbed, man. Like he's. I
He's
mean,
not gonna have a, he's not
I
gonna have
think
a
his
fan the
jiu-jitsu
matter.
is overrated, but like he has he has good enough jiu-jitsu to avoid the submissions. I think. Like
He's not gonna have a say in the matter because Chimaev's gonna pick him up and throw him down and mount him or take his back within like the first minute or two of the fight. Like he's not gonna knock out Nate on the feet, but Nate doesn't have the level. Like Burns is one of the best grapplers in the UFC. Like he has a level of resistance to provide Chimaev in that aspect. So Chimaev can't just maul him like he'd like to do everybody else, and he has to stand and trade with him. Nate doesn't have that level of resistance to provide. Like Hamzat's gonna pick him up like he did Lee and throw him down like a fucking sack of potatoes and beat him up. And Nate's gonna give up his back because he's gonna get the shit beat out of him while he's mounted, and Hamza's gonna flatten him out and keep pounding him until the ref has no choice but to stop it, or he's gonna choke him out. And yeah, Nate's not gonna tap out, but he's gonna go unconscious, and the ref's gonna call it. Like it's just
I
not gonna
see the
go.
I see the knockout potential more. Like yeah, it'll be similar to like the Makachev Bobby Green fight where like he just gets flattened out and Chimaev just wails on him until the referee stops it. I just don't see Nate Diaz getting subbed by Chimaev. His jiu-jitsu is really good. It's not Burns level, but look, he's only been subbed once in his career, and I think it's for good reasons. So I don't see that happening. Chimaev can knock him out via ground pound. That's a possibility, but I don't know, man. Nate Diaz is tough because I think he's going to be able to withstand that level of punishment. If it gets out of the first maybe one maybe 2 rounds, like I like to fight going decision for sure.
Yeah, Chimaev's gonna maul him.
Yeah, I
I
think
mean,
I don't know, I think the
Chimaev can't call him and he can still like survive. That's both
But
their
like I know Nate Diaz is tough, but Bobby Green is tough. And look how that worked against someone who's just so superior at grappling to him. Like it's not gonna go well for Nate.
Yeah, I think if we look at Chimaev's previous fights too, like if you look at let's say the Burns fight, um I think he's going to come out a lot smarter than he did in that fight because he was just kind of throwing hooks full power, couldn't do anything. When he realized he just needs to kind of jab at Burns and then you'll knock him out eventually. He did take Burns down. He didn't really control him, and Burns did a really good job of being offensive with the submissions to make Chimaev go away from that. And then the Li Jingliang fight, absolute destruction, right? He just went under, grabbed him, threw him around. If you want to say Nate Diaz is kind of like Lee and Burns, I guess you could. I just don't think he's good enough at jujitsu like Burns is to really pose much of a threat. And I think his striking is probably better than Lee's, but I think he's weaker than Lee as well. He might pitter patter him, but he's not going to earn Khamzat's respect, you know. So yeah, I think Chimaev just grabs him, throws him, possibly throws him on his head and then Nate Diaz wins, and we all go like, "Damn, title shot."
There we go.
That's the way Nate Diaz wins. He gets DQ'd. That might be
Yeah,
the best
Hamza
outcome for
Mal-
him, actually.
Hamza early is the way
I
to
just think
go.
the line just doesn't like. Chimaev's like minus 1,200 now. I just think that's too crazy.
I don't think so. I think it's perfect. Nate Diaz, as much as we all love him, he did almost finish Leon, sort of, in his last fight. He did get destroyed by Masvidal. He's just it's popularity ultimately, right? That keeps him up there.
Um, yeah, probably. But I just think that I don't know. Minus 1,200 is just too much to favor one person in this fight. Um,
I think betting
Diaz,
the props.
Yeah, not
he's
really.
he could withstand the punishment, and there's always a possibility that Chimaev gasses out, and um, you know, Diaz comes back and submits him. So I'm all for Diaz winning in this fight, or at least surviving the Chimaev.
I think that's fair. If you're gonna bet this fight, you either bet Chimaev flat out and use him as a parlay piece, but I don't think that's smart. At least if you want money, I think the props are the best way to make money in this fight. 1, 2, 3 via finish. I think those are guaranteed ways to make money.
I think just avoid this fight. To be honest, I think it's kind of I don't know what to expect with this fight, honestly. Uh, so as in like I mean obviously like I'm pretty sure Chimaev will win, but like I think he could win either by submission or knockout, and
Double chance, minus 450, everybody. Still kind
but
of
then he
high.
could survive too. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Diaz survives.
I'd be surprised, motherfucker.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah. Much as I love
All right,
it.
let's move on.
Cool. So I think we're split on the pick. At least the bet I think is more accurate. And then we're gonna move on to this wonderful, unexpected WTF main event, or co-main. Jingliang Li versus Tony Ferguson. I'm gonna take the lead because Tony's my dude. So I'm betting on Tony. This is more of a heart bet than anything else, to be honest here, because I always have to bet Tony no matter what. Tony, he won the Ultimate Fighter at welterweight, and he was a knockout machine. And as he moves up in weight, his stats are only going to go up. His cardio is going to go up. His chin's going to somehow get better, and his power's going to get a lot better. I also think that he's unorthodox enough, and he's definitely improved his striking enough that he could actually compete with Lee. I think he's better on the ground than Lee, and I could see Tony Ferguson putting on his wrestling shoes for this one, just to try and beat Lee and then, take him down and possibly submit him. As we know, Lee has no ground game. Now, with all of that being said, Lee, all he needs to do is really, really just punch Tony hard, which isn't hard to do, as Tony's very hittable. So I think the smartest bet probably is Li Jingliang via knockout, but I'm betting with Tony because of all the intangibles. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind the move to welterweight for Tony. I think he's a big featherweight as it is. I think like he probably killed down there. So I don't mind the move up. I just think that it's too early. Like his fight against Michael Chandler was only in May. We were at that fight. That was one of the most brutal knockouts ever.
Mm-hmm.
He was unconscious for several minutes, and to come back 4 months later after that brutal of a knockout against a bigger man who is a knockout artist in his division is just a terrible idea. I don't know who decided to book this fight for Tony Ferguson. I just don't see it going well for him. Like Lee hits really hard. He has kind of like a unorthodox striking. He catches a ton of people, wins most of his fights by knockout. I just think he connects with Tony, and Tony's chin's not the same anymore. Especially coming back this early, I just think he's gonna get his light shut out by Lee.
Yeah, I'm sharing that opinion. I think it's way too early. After a knockout like that, and a weight up against a power puncher, like it's just a bad matchup. Like if he really wanted to come back this soon, he should have pick somebody with softer hands.
Neil Magny. Should follow Neil Magny.
Yeah, like Neil exactly. Neil Magny.
I
There
don't
you go.
know. I honestly think that if there was one person in the welterweight division he had to fight, I think Li Jingliang makes all the sense because I think it's still a very winnable fight for Tony, to be perfectly honest, compared to like anybody else in this division.
No, why does Lee make sense? Lee hits hard.
Lee, who's he gonna
Tony
fight?
needs someone who doesn't hit hard.
Neil Magny is just better than Li Jingliang, and Li Jingliang, I mean, he's not the most skilled fighter, to be honest. He does hit hard, but he's on a win-loss, win-loss, win-loss. They've been trying to push Lee for the longest time, but he just loses a lot. And I don't think going against Michael Chiesa is going to do Tony any favors, or Shavkat, or Luque, or Masvidal, or Brady.
Michael Chiesa would have been a good fight.
Michael Chiesa would have submitted him pretty handily. He's way better on the ground.
Then Tony Ferguson?
Yeah.
Bro,
No,
could have given him.
good on the ground. I think Tony's pretty slick on the ground.
I think
that's a good fight.
Michael Chiesa, I think, is better though, but I think Li Jingliang is a perfect fight for him if he wants to have a very winnable fight, exciting. I think he outskills Lee in the grappling department by far. That's if Tony chooses to grapple, of course, because he's likes exciting fights. So,
But he's so much smaller, and Tony's grappling isn't that good, bro. Like his grappling is a myth.
no, it's solid there.
I think his offensive jiu-jitsu, I think, is pretty good. I don't think I feel like he lacks the takedowns. Like he doesn't really have the top game.
I mean,
like he doesn't really have ground and pound. Like I don't know.
He threatens submissions, and he'll use his jiu-jitsu to like reverse and do this and do. Like he doesn't have like a consistent grappling attack.
I don't know if I don't think
he has a lot of wins.
Lee isn't necessarily that much bigger. Tony actually is only an inch shorter, has like a 4-inch reach advantage there. We've just seen him drain his entire life, so now that he's going to fill in, you know, he might look a lot better.
Yeah, I just think that Lee's gonna knock Tony out.
Tony, to prove he is still one of the best in the world.
Yeah, I think he's disproven that quite a while ago.
Yeah.
Michael Chandler just hits really hard, guys, and Benio Dariush is the top 3 lightweight.
Bro, it's gonna be like here's a future betting one. Bet the house on Gamrot against Benil.
Benil is better than Dustin and Justin. You heard it here first. Actually, Dustin and Justin have no grappling. Like Benil just takes them down and then they get tapped.
Benil's not that good of a grappler.
Benil is what? He's a world champion jiu-jitsu artist. He's a really good grappler.
World champion? He's not like a real world champion. He's like a
Benil. Why do you think Justin and Dustin have been dodging him like for the longest? Benil.
No one's dodging him. He pulled out of the Islam fight because he sucks, and Islam was going to expose him by completely destroying him. But now Gamrot can expose him by destroying him.
Gamrot's better than Dustin and Justin too.
Yeah, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about like Gamrot's gonna maul Benil.
Benil's better than Dustin and Justin. They're just gatekeepers.
No,
they're drama queens. But anywho, Tony.
They both fight more than Benil too.
No, they don't. Justin fights like once a year.
Benil fights twice a year. Wow.
Yeah.
But hasn't fought this year.
Yeah, he's gonna fight.
9 months in.
Gonna fight, but yeah. So Tony Ferguson to win, but we're split on the pick. Li Jingliang is probably the smarter money. If you're gonna bet him when the prop comes out, probably via KO -150, I would guess.
The under is like -125. There could be a lot of value there for 2.5 rounds.
Maybe.
I don't think.
Oh, 2.5 rounds? Yeah.
Oh,
2.5 rounds. Yeah, -125 for the under.
Levi knockout. That's gonna be plus money.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we are split on the pick. So let's move on to the next one. Kevin, does he have a nickname?
The Trailblazer.
Kevin the Trailblazer Holland versus Daniel D. Rod Rodriguez. What do you guys think?
I actually think this is a really good fight. This is one of the ones I'm looking forward to the most on the card. Daniel Rodriguez is really good.
Now wait, before you go with your analysis, this is apparently at catch weight at 180. I just wanted to keep that in mind if that's going to affect your opinion. Yeah, it says so in Tapology. So tell me if that's going to affect your opinion or not.
I mean, I would assume it slightly favors Kevin Holland because he is a little bigger, so not having to get all the way down to 170 is probably going to be nice for him, although I don't think he struggles too much. No, I just think it's I think it's going to be a competitive fight. I think I think Holland is probably technically more skilled, but Daniel Rodriguez is very tough and durable, and he'll stay in the fight and keep making it competitive. So I think it will be relatively competitive. I think Holland will kind of just outpoint him, for like lack of a better term, for 3 rounds. Not that Holland won't be trying to do damage, but I think Rodriguez is tough and he'll hold on. And I think Holland will just win like a comfortable 29-28, 30-27 decision from a mostly stand-up fight. So I like the over on this one, minus 105, 2.5 rounds. So
I would give Kevin Holland a slight edge in this one. I think the line's a little off. I think it should be a little closer to around even. Although, like, Kevin Holland does have like the attribute advantages, like he's taller, like a lot longer. He has a way bigger reach. I think. Let me look here. It's 81-inch reach versus 74-inch reach, so pretty significant there. But I think, like, skill wise, it's very competitive. Like, Daniel Rodriguez, really good striking. He has really good takedown defense. I don't know if that'll play a factor in this one, but yeah, I think this is a competitive fight though. If like, I know Kevin Holland really likes to like start out fast and like go for the knockout, and I don't know, like, if he doesn't, I don't think he's gonna be able to get it with Daniel Rodriguez, and if he doesn't do that, then I think we're in for like a pretty fun barn burner of fight. So I think both guys can win. This is like a dog or pass to me. Like I wouldn't bet on Kevin Holland here. If I had to, I would bet on D-Rod.
I was gonna say I think Holland is just slightly more. He's becoming like more technically competent with using his range and stuff. So I think we'll see the continued development of Kevin Holland.
Yeah.
He is younger. Like Daniel Rodriguez is like 35, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Kevin Holland, I think, has a lot more to grow than D-Rod does.
Yeah, I also don't think Kevin Holland is a fast starter, to be honest. If we've seen his last few fights, he was pretty patient against Tim Means and then Cowboy, Alex Oliveira. And when you look at the people that he's lost to, at least recently, he lost to Marvin Vettori and Derek Brunson, who are insane grapplers. And, well, he almost, with Brunson, he actually hurt him and nearly finished him, but that's the story of most Brunson fights. Vettori lost. I guess if you count Kyle Dawkins, did I say that right?
Yeah.
Yes, I've done it, guys. If you want to count that, he wasn't looking the best in that fight, but he knows how to use his range. He's fought better competition than Daniel Rodriguez, in all honesty. I think he's becoming a little bit smarter. He's not seeking a fight every month or two. Instead, he's being patient, and, you know, he'll find his openings and knock out D-Rod. D-Rod is pretty slick boxing, but I think Kevin Holland knows how to use his range very, very well. If it goes to the ground at some point, which I don't think it will, Kevin Holland's going to destroy D-Rod. I don't know if I've ever seen him do jiu-jitsu, but Kevin Holland's ground game is pretty good, actually. It's just that people can hold him down, but they can't tap him. He takes no damage, you know? So I think Kevin Holland, via points or knockouts, the way to go, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, anything else, guys, or moving to the next one?
Let's go to the next one.
Well, let's check our next one. Irene Aldana versus Macy Chasson. We seen Macy Chasson fight last time against Norma Dumont via split decision. So since you guys probably don't have much of an opinion on this one, I think Irene Aldana is the one who's probably going to win this. I think she's probably going to win via knockout. She has a lot of power in her hands, and she's going to probably be the next contender if she wins after Macy Chasson here. It's as simple as that. She had a broken foot in her fight against Holly Holmes. Didn't look very good there, but she still has time to develop, so yeah, I think she's gonna win.
Yeah. I'm pretty high on Irene on this one, actually. I don't think Macy Chasson is very good. And I think Irene is like right under that like, you know, that
BDR
contender
tier.
like that real contender tier.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, that 145?
This is 135. Macy Chasson's dropping. Well, they're all kind of, you know, they're all bantamweights in the end.
I just don't think someone who had like a competitive fight with Norma Dumont and like got beaten by Raquel Pennington that simply, and is also having to now cut down to 135. Like, I just don't see it going. Like, Irene's just better than the people she's been fighting and having close fights with, and it's a new weight class. I just don't think it works out.
Mhm.
Norman Dumont's like not an embarrassment.
No, but I
Like
think
actually,
Irene's
like,
definitely
all right
better.
at fighting.
Yeah,
I think she's good. I think Irene's a lot better.
yeah, that's the thing. Is that Irene Aldana is pretty good on the feet. She's just below home and GDR in terms of ability, and she actually has power compared to them, which is a good equalizer. So I,
And she's young, so she is getting better.
well, she's 34 apparently. I didn't think she was that old, but
Jesus, but she's young in like MMA years. She hasn't been doing it for too long, I don't think.
yeah. So I think her via knockout has a lot of value. To be perfectly honest, once that prop comes out, it's probably gonna be like plus 400, knowing how they do these odds for women. Yeah. Anything else, guys?
No.
Cool. So let's move on to the next. Ooh, Johnny Walker versus Ian Cutelaba, guys. What do you think?
Yeah, this is not gonna. I mean, you never know because Johnny Walker has no chin, but he could also make it like the world's most boring fight. So I think with that in mind, like just stay away from this completely.
I disagree. I like Cutelaba a lot in this fight. He could take down Johnny. He could just knock Johnny out on the feet. Johnny he does have really good striking. I think he is probably the better striker here. He's longer, taller, rangier, whatnot, whatever. I mean I just think the biggest thing that sticks out in this fight is that Johnny Walker has a glass chin and he cannot take a punch, and Kutalaba hits really hard. So I think yeah, if Kutalaba connects him on any level, he's gonna put Johnny to sleep. He could also just take Johnny down and ground and pound him. So yeah, I just think there's a lot going for Kutalaba in this fight. So
I
I'm gonna pick him.
I'm really high on Johnny Walker in this fight, especially at plus money. I think first, if we go to the size advantage there, like Johnny Walker could fight at heavyweight pretty comfortably. He's not only a little bit bigger than Ian Cutelaba, he's much bigger than Ian Cutelaba in this fight. And when you look at the person who knocked out Johnny Walker, it was Jamal Hill and who else knocked him out?
Uh,
Corey Anderson, those that he has a glass fucking chin because Jamal Hill and Corey Anderson are the last people to knock him out in the last 3 years. That's why he has a glass chin. I think
I
that's
mean,
overstated.
Gates.
Ryan Spann might have hurt him a little bit, but Ryan Spann actually beat Ian Cutelaba. And I mean, Thiago Santos, who dropped Magomed Ankalaev, wasn't able to knock out Johnny Walker. I think that the glass chin is really overstated. I also don't think Ian Cutelaba, he might be the Hulk. He doesn't have much power, right? Not as much as other people. His greatest claim to fame was like pretending to get hurt by Magomed Ankalaev. That's it. He was gonna get really hurt by Johnny Walker. Maybe he'll fight a smarter fight this time around and just kind of grind him down. But I could see Johnny Walker doing a lot of anti-wrestling, and he is becoming smarter, I think, as the years go on. The only thing is that he's a bit of a free spirit. I could see him just hurting Ian Cutelaba. If you want to make some real money, I would guess Johnny Walker via decision is going to be an insane prop. But the smart money is probably him versus Cutelaba knockout. I like Walker a lot in this fight.
Wow. Yeah, I can't disagree with you more. But yeah.
That's fair enough then. What did you have in this fight, Dermer? I forget.
I'm not betting on it. I'd probably pick Kulaba, but I'm not gonna bet.
Fair enough. All right, so we got our next fight: Hakeem Dawodu versus Julian Erosa.
I'm pretty high on Hakeem Dawodu, man. I mean, really good performance last fight against Mike Trezano. Against Mobstar, like he lost the first 2 rounds because he got wrestle fucked, but then like he was putting it on Mobstar in that last round. Like Mobstar had to survive that round to win the fight. His striking is really slick. Yeah, I mean he pretty much wins the striking in every fight he's in. Meanwhile, like Julian Erosa, like just a really unimpressive record. Like he went to a war with Steven Peterson, who's like not a UFC level fighter in my opinion. Beat Charles Jourdain, which is like kind of decent, but then Charles Jourdain just took an L to Nathaniel Wood. I don't know. He's not as good. He's definitely not as good as Hakeem Dawodu. This is going to be a striking battle, and I think Hakeem's he has more power. He has just better hands overall, and I like Dawodu in this fight for sure.
Yeah, I think Julian Erosa is better than we give him credit for. I think he's kind of showing how much he's improved over the last couple of years, but ultimately, I think Hakeem Dawodu is the smart money. He might even be a parlay piece.
Yeah, he's he's probably a piece for me for sure.
Anything?
Hakeem Dawodu?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you do look at Julian Erosa, he did beat Nate Landwehr via flying knee. So I mean, and he beat Sean Woodson. He beat Slender. That's the Slender Man guy, right?
Yeah. But after his last fight, that's becoming less impressive.
That's fair enough then. So Hakeem Dawodu to win. Okay, we could actually do the next one pretty quick. Jelton Almeida versus Anton Herkulej.
Almeida Mesh.
Basically, Jelton Almeida should win this pretty handily. I think even at minus 700, maybe him via finish would be a good parlay piece.
Yeah, you might be right. I don't fuck with these. Like, I don't like to fuck with like money lines that are greater than like minus 300. Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. Plus, Anton's nickname is the Pleasure Man, which is kind of weird. So.
Damn.
Okay, so Jelton Almeida. Jamie Pickett versus Dennis Tuluan. Do you guys have an opinion on this fight?
No.
Nope.
Dennis Eber? Oh no, it's Tuluan.
Yes. We got this is a fun fight. Some of our favorite heavyweights here. Jake Collier versus Chris Barnett. What do you guys think? This is actually a fun fight.
Bet the house on Chris Barnett. There's no practical reason to do so aside from the fact that I like him and I want him to win, and I'll be cheering him on. And the same way you bet on Tony, I'll be betting on Chris Barnett. Although it is heavyweight, and we just saw Ty catch Cyril last weekend, so anything can happen. And a heavyweight in a fight like this at plus 300 can never be the worst value in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I think this fight's a mess. I think it's gonna be a terrible fight. So
yeah.
Hell
Yeah.
I don't know. None of these guys are really UFC caliber.
What? No,
Right.
Jake Collier's UFC caliber. He's just not ranked heavyweight. He's got a pretty good gas tank for heavyweight. He has a pretty decent and a fan friendly style for heavyweight. He's actually improving too. I think Jake Collier's definitely UFC caliber. He's just not ranked.
Actually, Jake Collier's on a loss win streak. So, and his last fight's a loss. So, as you know, that's the biggest indicator for who's gonna win. So, I think Jake Collier is gonna destroy Chris Barnett. Actually, last he won a split decision versus Andrei Arlovsky. I think he actually won that fight.
Same. I thought he actually won the fight, but yeah.
So yeah, he's actually kind of good. Chris Barnett sucks.
Oh yeah, 100%. Jake Collier should win, but I gotta bet with my heart once in a while.
Chris Barnett via KO is probably not the worst. It's probably like plus 310, I would imagine, when the props come out. So that's
no. Obviously, the worst prop is involving Nate Diaz. So definitely not the worst value on the card.
No, Nate Diaz has value. Anyways,
so I guess we're split on the pick. Jake Collier. If I were to bet him, it'd be via decision, to be honest, because Barnett's really tough in the last fight. If I were him, I would have taken the easy way out, because I think he got like fouled or something, and he could have, I think, taken a no decision or something, but he decided.
I think that's what happened, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's what happened.
So he has a lot of heart.
No. That fight, he did take the easy way out. But like it was because like the fight was like over 2 rounds, so it had to go to the decision.
So he continued to just fight then, and then look.
No. He like stopped fighting, but like it instead of going to a no contest, it went to a referee's decision.
Oh, okay.
So they just judged like what happened in that round as like its own round, and yeah.
Okay, that's fair. So we got split on the picks yet again. Let's see. Norma Dumont versus Daniel Wolf. Norma Dumont should win, though Daniel Wolf is very accomplished. Any opinion on Chad and Helliger versus Haley Alatang?
No.
No.
Elise Reed versus Melissa Martinez. Any opinions?
No.
Darian Weeks versus Johan Lanise.
Darren Weeks is he's kind of good actually. I kind of like him.
I actually think Johan Lanise is actually kind of good too. So this might be a fun fight.
No.
I don't really have a prediction now. I think the line is relatively accurate. So
Yeah, I don't know about
I think either one could happen.
any of these fights here. Awesome then. So then let's get to our predictions. Remember to follow our predictions because we all were slightly positive last week, so we're all winners last week.
I was super positive. I had everything.
Yes.
And
So
I'm still the most negative. So the comeback is real, boys.
I mean that seems to be you, Yo-Yo, and Josh is relatively stable at even, and I just hit insane props that carry me. All right. So Josh, what are your bets here?
All right, so I have Chimaev Diaz go to decision plus 500, 1 unit. Dawodu Lee parlay minus 107, 6 units. Walker Cutelaba under 1.5 rounds minus 105, 3 units.
I like most of your bets.
What did you say the 6 units was on?
Dawodu Lee.
Minus 107.
Okay. That makes sense.
That's a pretty solid bet. Awesome. And then let's go to our next one here. Dermer.
All right. My turn. All right. Chimaev and Diaz to not start round 3 at minus 144, 4 units. And then I got Irene Aldana and Lee, a parlay plus 105, 3 units. Then I got the over for Rodriguez and Holland. That's 2.5 rounds at minus 105, 2 units on that. And then, of course, my guy, Huggy Bear, Chris Barnett, plus 295, 1 unit. Going positive this week because of that motherfucker. Don't play with me.
I like the not to start round 3 prop a lot, and I think Lee's very popular amongst us. I even think he's probably going to win, but I can't go against Tony. I have Chimaev via, all these are 2.5 as usual. Chimaev via submission, rounds 1, 2, or 3 at plus 220. I got Tony Ferguson, just money line, plus 220 at 2.5. Gelton Almeida, Jake Collier, Norma Dumont, and Irene Aldana at 179 at 2.5. And I got Kevin Holland and the legend Johnny Walker at plus 280 at 2.5 units. Awesome.
Wow.
I know.
All right, these are some interesting bets.
Walker and Ferguson, unusual picks, I know.
Yeah. All right, well, you could be a genius or you could
Be a dumbass.
strike out on all these. I think both are possible.
Yes. Very much so.
All right, these are our cold takes. Like, comment, subscribe.
Peace out, y'all.